Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to add and manage your content blocks. So there are two things to know about the websites in case you are not completely familiar. You have pages, and then within those pages you have blocks of content. And so when you're talking about a page, you're talking about a page in its entirety with all of the content blocks. So for example, if we look at this page, the Get to Know Us page is a page within the site, and in that page we have multiple content blocks. We have a header, we have the bio for Jim Smith, then we have a bio for Jane Doe, which has not been created yet. We're going to do that in a second. And then some other editing tools down here at the bottom to create additional blocks of content. So this is one way of looking at your blocks of content. The other way is to go under the Pages and Content, click the View and Edit Existing Pages. That will take you into a list of all of the pages inside your website and all of the content blocks inside of those pages. So the page we were just looking at, the Get to Know Us page, had a header, a content block for Jim Smith, and another content block for Jane Doe. So you can come in this way and you can click Edit to the right or Delete to manage these content blocks within this page, or you can simply go to the page itself, manage them right within the page. So let's go ahead and create a content block for Jane Doe. So we want to do something similar to this. So I'm going to go ahead and click Edit next to Jane Doe. So we're going to pull up the content editor. We've already given that content block a name, and we've called it Jane Doe. And we're going to go ahead and grab a template to use for this page. So we have some templates already predefined in here, some basic layouts, things like that. If you scroll down a little bit, we have some predefined, pretty commonly used formats. So I'm going to grab this bio page layout and load that into the page, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Okay, so one thing I'm going to add right here is I'm going to add the header like we had on the other one, or the title I probably should call it. We'll make that bold. Then I'm also going to add a horizontal line spacer at the top of this to cause a break between the pages, so that, or the blocks, so that when you're looking at it outside of the editor and you're looking at it through the website, there's a nice breaking point. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. And it's going to automatically provide me with a view of what I've just done. And you'll notice that there's a great big block right here at the top of that content letting me know that this content has not been posted to my live site yet. So I can choose to post it live, or I continue editing it if there's still some things I want to change. Same options are right down below next to the Jane Doe piece of content. I can post it live and I can continue editing. Okay, so I notice there's a really big gap right here. I'm going to go ahead and edit that, and since we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and push this image over to the right hand so I can maybe alternate the images on this page just for aesthetics. So let's continue editing on this page. And I'm going to go ahead and modify that large gap that was up there at the top. And I think that was coming from right after the bar that I put in there. So I went ahead and deleted that item, but it actually deleted the bar. There we go. Now the bar is back. So now there won't be a big gap in between at the top of the page. I'm also going to go ahead and get rid of this bar here because I don't think it's necessary. So I'm just going to hit the delete key on my keyboard to get rid of that extra paragraph. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same here. Put my cursor there, and then I'm going to hit delete. Get rid of that extra space. Okay, I like the way that lays out a little better. Now let's go ahead and push this image over to the right hand side of the screen. And we have a predefined tool just for that purpose. Under the advanced formats, I'm going to say image right. And that will automatically push the image to the right hand side of the screen. If I decide I don't like it, you can always go right back in here and go image left, and it'll push back to the left side. If you want to reposition it inside this content, Let's go ahead and put it back to the right again. And then you can always grab the image and you can drag it inside here. Let's say I want it to line up more after this paragraph. So now I've scooted it down so that it appears after that paragraph. If I want it to appear back up at the top, drag it up to the top, and it'll push it back up to the top of that paragraph. Okay, so that's how you do that. And then let's go ahead and save this. Let's see how it looks. So I'm going to scroll down here, take a look at that one. Look at this one. I like the way that looks. I think everything's ready. So I'm going to go ahead and post live on that piece of content. So when I click that Post It Live link, that publishes it to the live website so that the public will now see that piece of content as well as myself in the editing mode. So now that's in there. Now let's say we want to add one more piece of content. We can just click the Add a New Content block, and that will open up the content editor just like we did when we were editing, and it will allow me to create another page. Let's say we want to call this bio for this person, we'll call them Jimmy Webb. And I'm not going to put anything in there at the moment, but you get the idea. We can go ahead and select a template, add that in there, or we can copy from an existing content block and paste it in there and then use that as our format. So now if we go back to the Get to Know Us page, we should see another content block in there. And we do, called Jimmy Webb. Again, there's no content, so we'll need to add that, and that'll create the next piece. And so now once we sign out of the site, these yellow bars will go away, and we'll be able to see what the page looks like. So let's go to the Get to Know Us link. Now you can see what the page looks like to the rest of the world. All right, and that's all there is to creating blocks of content.